Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Militant Negro Network on YouTube. I am Mr. Militant Negro. You are now at my network, a place where truth, facts, and honest thoughts and opinions are spoken. Welcome, enjoy yourselves, and please subscribe. There appears to be a new Mike Brown video that has been released within the last few days that does not exonerate Mike Brown. And let me repeat that. The new video released does not exonerate Mike Brown from committing a crime prior to being executed by Ferguson, Missouri police officer Darren Wilson. That is not the case. So I want to be clear about that. Mike Brown, in this newly released surveillance video that went down inside the convenience store minutes prior to him being executed by Ferguson, Missouri police officer Darren Wilson, does not prove Mike Brown did not commit a crime. What this newly released surveillance video shows is that Mike Brown did not, I repeat, did not rob or strong arm the convenience store or its owner. What the newly released surveillance video shows very clearly to those willing to be honest with themselves about what they see, it shows Mike Brown on a previous day exchanged a small bag of weed for 2 boxes of cigarillos, or what people use to make blunts. He exchanged a bag of weed for the 2 boxes of cigarillos. He gave the cigarillos back to the dudes behind the counter in the convenience store, asking them to hold the box of cigarillos for him. He then exited the convenience store and returned what appears to be the following day to get his box of cigarillos. Only thing is, the people who he gave them to the previous day to hold for him were not there. Thus, he got into a shoving match with the clerk who was behind the counter about his boxes of cigarillos. This led to his execution by Ferguson, Missouri police officer Darren Wilson. Now, the thing that I am stressing here is not that he didn't break the law, because if he strong-armed the store clerk the next day, that's a violation. If he sold or exchanged a bag of weed for the cigarillos, that's a violation. Both are violations of the law in Ferguson, Missouri. My point, the point that I am making in this video, and what others have made in their videos, subsequent to finding out this new surveillance video footage is just now surfacing, is simply this. Ferguson law enforcement withheld this video until now. Somehow it became apparent and available and released to the public now. This thing with Michael Brown, his being executed, happened years ago. My problem with this entire process is this. The Ferguson Police Department withheld this surveillance video. And yes, they had the video in their possession. They chose to release the video in the convenience store showing Michael Brown strong-arming the Asian clerk. I believe he was an Asian. He looks Asian in the surveillance video that the Ferguson Police Department chose to release while trying to make their case that Michael Brown was a monster, a thug, a criminal using violent force against a small Asian man. That is my problem. The press, the media, all the so-called journalists at the time of Michael Brown's execution played the surveillance video from the convenience store showing Mike Brown as a strong-arm robber, as a violent monster Negro attacking a small Asian man. This is the story all the news outlets went with. This is the image painted of Michael Brown by everyone who is a racist journalist. And of course, the Ferguson Police Department needed this image of Michael Brown to go public and viral, so their case that he needed to be murdered, executed in the street like a rabid dog, was substantiated. In other words, everyone involved with the execution of unarmed Michael Brown in the streets of Ferguson, Missouri, wanted this now released surveillance video from the convenience store showing Michael Brown trading a bag of weed for the 2 boxes of cigarillos to not be discovered, to not be shown. They opted for the video showing Michael Brown pushing the store owner as the video to back up their story that he strong-arm robbed that store and its owner. Or the video showed the clerk at the time being strong-armed. We don't know if that Asian man is the owner of the convenience store or not. Because how can we trust anything that the Ferguson Police Department says about the part of the video they released, when they were not honest about the part of the video they did not release? If Michael Brown indeed did sell a bag of weed or trade a bag of weed for cigarillos the previous day to the 2 to 3 store clerks behind the counter, that is breaking the law. Everybody knows that. But it is not, I repeat, it is not robbery. It is not the strong-arm robbery we see on the video the following day that paints Michael Brown as a vicious, violent criminal. That's the difference here. And you don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to understand that difference. The people we pay to serve and protect us lied, withheld evidence, were involved in a cover-up to get Michael Brown's execution accepted worldwide. This is why people of color do not trust the police. This is why people of color do not like the police. This is why people of color fear the police. Because the police will cover shit up to get their point across, to make themselves appear to be within the law. Michael Brown was unarmed, had his hands in the air, and all that. Those 2 facts are always whitewashed and covered up and omitted whenever something is mentioned about Michael Brown. Michael Brown was portrayed as this larger-than-life giant of a man when he was in fact a boy, a teenager. Not at all responsible for the fact that he was a big teenager. His size was not his doing, his making. That is genetics. Yet Michael Brown was crucified in the press and by the Ferguson, Missouri police as being a giant, a menace to society, when all he was really doing was selling a bag of weed for 2 boxes of cigarillos. And yes, that breaks the law. But it is not strong-arm robbery, is it? Neither crime, strong-arm robbery, or selling weed should result in the person doing it being executed in the street by a Ferguson, Missouri police officer named Darren Wilson. That is overkill. That is a miscarriage of justice. That is excessive force. All illegal. I'm going to leave a video link to this newly released surveillance video from the convenience store so you yourself can take a look at just why police in America are crooked and evil. I'm out of here. Be well. Stay safe. Avoid the motherfucking police. Namaste.